of Prime Minister's address in the Parliament. We talked about India's economy and the big trade deals. Joining me is Ambassador Manjeev Singh Puri, former senior diplomat. Ambassador Puri, good evening and welcome to DD India. While the spotlight has been on India's big-ticket trade agreements in the past couple of weeks, how do you see the manner in which Prime Minister Modi articulates why the world looks at India as a trusted partner?
Thank you very much. I think it's an absolute correctness of things that, these trade deals, what do? They actually highlight to the world, and by the world, I mean right across the spectrum, from developing countries to the developed countries, that India is not only a country, which is a country of significance, but this fact is now recognized by the world. After all, the reason for doing the trade deals, we may have our own, but they also see benefits. None of them would have wanted to enter into deals of this kind if they didn't see a benefit. This is a clear signal that India as an economy is not just a significant economy, but it's an economy which is a signal economy in terms of countries with whom they should all align, i.e. for us, it's multi-alignment, but it's also multi-alignment for them. And it signifies India's, let me say, reaching a certain position which makes it a country of importance for others, including big players, to recognize. Very important and really very good for India.
Right, Ambassador. I'll return to the key points of Prime Minister's address. But before that, Minister Jaishankar just concluded his visit to the United States. He speaks about advancement of US trade deal, also critical mineral cooperation and engagement in diverse domains. Do you think India-US close ties are sort of back on track?
Look, let me say, you are dealing in the United States with a president who is a one-man machine. So, for us to be able to say all of this with such degree of certainty, yes, I can also say it in the same manner. But the fact is that this was a major irritant, without any doubt, because economics underpins even this wonderful bilateral relationship, which we have now built with the United States, what should I say, over a period of about 20 years. So whether it's the Quad, defense cooperation, work on energy, work on AI and people and so on and so forth. This was a jarring irritant which stared everyone. The fact that our companies were faced with punitive tariffs, all of that truly hurt and hurt in various ways. So I think it's a very important deal. But I want to say something to you about these trade deals, particularly the one with the United States and the one with the European Union. Look, they signal that India is lowering its generally felt situation of being a very protectionist country. And when you lower protectionist barriers, you actually encourage investment, because people don't realize that, these are trade deals. In the case of the Americas, it's of course a simple matter of lowering tariffs. So your exports which had found themselves hurdled, that hurdle will go, they'll go back to their usual thing. But in terms of increasing trade, that's a very difficult cup of tea. It requires your industry to be up to scratch. It requires that you meet global standards, not only that you meet the costs and so on and so forth. But for us, I see in this great benefits, because the Indian economy, as it progresses towards Viksit Bharat 2047, needs lots of investments, technology, finance, everything. And these things actually don't come if you have a protected market and people see protectionism, because they are unable to build their supply chain. And this is something which is absolutely salutary. I'm really very happy to see both these trade deals, and also the one that we are starting with the Gulf and the British trade deal. All of these signal the world recognizes that India is there, and India has signaled to the world, we are ready, and we are very much interested in opening ourselves up. Happy that you are opening yourself up. We are opening ourselves up, so we cooperate and then take ourselves forward. I'll leave one little point to you. For a long time, people have spoken in terms of India being the China +1 story. These are the things which will open you up for all of that.
Right, and it has significant implications for the global economy as well. Ambassador, Prime Minister does say that the big trade deals are going to be a source of stability as well as speed and growth for an increasingly fractured and volatile world.
Well, absolutely, no doubt. Look, the Indian economy, as the fourth largest economy, even though we are only 4 trillion out of a global economy of some $110 trillion, we are in a significant phase. And we are a significant player for both imports as well as exports. And so, therefore, when we enter into these relationships, which signal the growth of the Indian economy, it signals stability for the world. Let's also not forget the fact that we are a democracy. We are a country that
Right.
prefers and really works in terms of a rules-based order. With the WTO now being in the state of play in which the United States has brought itself, it was important that we enter into each of these bilateral FTAs, etc., which are very important. Look, this is a clear recognition of India being a country of significance and a country which is recognized by the major stakeholders in the world's economy and I dare say geopolitics that India is an important country and they should build relations with India. That's important for them, not just important for us. For my perspective, of course, it's great for us.
Right. And finally, India's demographic advantage when Prime Minister sort of juxtaposes the aging population of the developed world with India's younger, skilled population is great opportunity for Indian youth, both at home and abroad.
No, absolutely. Look, what are our two great facets? It's globalization and demography, right? That's why we are a country or an economy of great significance to everyone. So it's absolutely right that the Honorable Prime Minister should mention demography. And, while in India, there's this great feeling, oh my God, so many billion people. No. For the world, this is your greatest asset, your market. But as I said, investments don't flow only because you think you have a large market. You are not really a very rich market which caters to what comes from those places. But when you open these supply routes, then you become a country which is of great interest to invest not only for your growing market, but also for being able to do things, build in the investment processes, bring in the supply routes so that you bring in something, produce it halfway house, draw again and again. So lots of things happen. Look, let's clap, and I'm very glad that this was mentioned. Globalization, without doubt, great benefit to us. And demography, I'm happy that we are applauding it.
On that note, thank you very much, Ambassador Manjeev Puri. Always a pleasure talking to you.